I've ordered a shot of espresso on a date before because I was like, you get nervous and you're like, no. What do grown-ups drink? What do people drink?
What's up, everyone? I'm Nate.
I'm Sarah.
And today we are coming at you from a slightly different location.
Just a little bit different.
So we booked a little cabin to get away, and our view right now is beautiful. I'm actually going to show it to you guys real quick. It's not going to really do it justice because the camera can never do a view justice, but check this out. Alright, so today in this beautiful spot with this beautiful view, we are going to talk about how we met / how we started dating.
It only seemed fitting.
Yeah.
Let's take it back.
Let's take it back.
Take it back.
To 2012?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it would have been like the end of sophomore year in high school.
We went to high school together, for you who don't know.
Oh, yeah. We met in high school. We met in high school. We didn't really meet until the next year, but the first time that I saw her and I was like, whoa, who is that? Was when we auditioned for a choir, actually. She sang and I was like, first I already saw her and was just like, wow, she's gorgeous. And then she sang and I was just like, wow, are you kidding me? That is absolutely ridiculous.
I was so self-conscious that I really wasn't looking at anybody else. Like, I was just so focused on how nervous I was.
Yeah.
Generally in high school overall, not just the audition.
Yeah. And she is gorgeous. She was gorgeous. She still is.
Like, hearing someone say something like that is so confusing to my personal story.
We'll get a little bit more into this later, but I didn't really talk to her that much because I was a little intimidated because she is super smart and beautiful and can sing. I didn't think I was that attractive, so I was just like, there is no way that this lady's gonna like me. Like, no way at all. As we talked about in an earlier video, I was definitely an extrovert and a little like out there, so I probably would have been pretty annoying to her.
And I was like a mega introvert.
Alright, so then I didn't really see her after the audition. I still, like, only thing that I knew was that her name was Sarah. Like, I didn't really know any of her friends or, like, where to find her still. I think, like, a week or two later, they actually decided who got into the choir. And I was reading the lists, and I saw my name, and I was like, okay, cool. And I went over to the altos, which Sarah is an alto, and I saw her name, but I didn't see her. And so I was like, all right, here is my moment. This is how
Probably
I'm
hiding somewhere too scared.
Like, this is how I'm going to introduce myself to Sarah. And I'm looking around for her. I'm going all around the school trying to find her because I know what she looks like. And I can't find her, and I can't find her, and I can't find her. And so the next year, or I don't even know when I found this out, but basically Sarah was at a track meet.
You're so smooth, though.
I was like, yes, this is how it's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. I'm going to find her.
This is the start of our love story.
It did not happen. I didn't find her.
Stutter.
Yeah.
Then we had 2 years in that choir together.
Okay, we had 2 years in that choir. I barely talked to her. She literally stood right in front of me the entire time.
I thought he didn't like me.
I liked you so much that I was way too nervous to talk to you.
Yeah, for the longest time I thought you and his friend didn't like me.
I remember the first like full conversation that we had that I remember, we were talking about Jimmy Fallon. She was watching Jimmy Fallon at lunchtime on her computer, and I sat next to her.
Comedy to relieve your anxiety.
Yeah, and I sat next to her, and we talked about Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, so then for 2 years, we basically had 2 classes together.
And one of them we even did, we traveled for. We did trips for.
We did.
We went on trips together and everything.
We did. One of those, there was a joke because all the older kids knew that I liked you. So they were trying to get me to talk to you, but I chickened out.
This is like absolutely, like, it's just crazy to think, like, when you're such an insecure person, it's really weird to hear.
It was Operation Sarah.
During a time where you felt so.
Operation Webster.
Yeah. After high school, we both graduated, but he stayed in Portland and I went to Corvallis for school. And then
She left me.
I did. I left him in the dust. No, I left him here, and then I went to school, and I didn't like it there. So I was only there for a year before I came back here for a better design program. Mm-hmm. And then what happened? I posted.
It was spring. You posted on Snapchat.
So I was here for a whole year.
She was back for almost an entire year, and I didn't know she was back because I was like kind of following her, but she didn't really post stuff that much. So like I never really could follow her that.
Yeah.
Or I guess I couldn't really stalk because she wasn't uploading. But she posted on Snapchat, and she said that she was here, and it was like in spring. It was like during like the spring break time, so I thought maybe she was just back for spring break. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, let me message her and see if she wants to hang out. This message did not happen the first day that I decided this, and I forgot that Snapchat has the feature that tells you.
Yeah, I don't know if we're old, so.
Oh yeah, I don't know if people be messaging on Snapchat still, but
it updates you saying like so and so is typing whenever someone's like in the midst of writing you a message. It like actually alerts your phone and everything. It doesn't just show the dots. Mm-hmm. So I kept getting these alerts on my phone saying Nate Golden is typing, Nate Golden is typing, like multiple times, and not getting a message. So I was like, whatever he is trying to tell me or say to me, he's really thinking this through.
It was like a week, you guys. It was like a week
I would
that
be
I kept
at work or something, and all of a sudden I'd be like, I'm like, okay.
Finally, I literally was just like, it was like the weakest message too. Like I literally was just like, oh, I didn't know you were back. Didn't know you were back in town. We should try and get together and hang out. It worked, y'all. It worked. It was not. It was me being too. I was too nervous to even talk to her over the phone.
It wasn't even talking. It was just typing.
Really? Yeah. So yeah, I messaged her and said, hey, we should get together sometime. Didn't know you were back. And she was like, how about Tuesday? And this is like a Saturday.
Not about that brush off.
Yeah, this is a Saturday. I was expecting to get like a, yeah, sure. And then it never really happens. But she was like, how about Tuesday? And I was just like, whoa, that's in like 3 days.
Yeah.
So
you earned it with all your almost sent messages for like a week.
So
he's already waited a week.
Right? For 3 days, I was the happiest, giddiest.
It's the magic of love.
Yeah. And so then we went on our first day. It was breakfast
at my favorite spot. It was by the house I was living in at the time.
Yeah. It was called Helzer's.
Yeah. It's
closed now because of everything going on, you guys.
It was before COVID. Or no, it was during.
It was like the first month though.
They took the German pancake off the menu, so in my heart they were closed already.
Yeah, and we're vegan now, so we can't eat anything there. So,
anyways.
But they closed, you guys.
Yeah.
But we went there for breakfast, and
no. I remember walking up. Yeah, this is where I get to take over the story.
Okay, you take over. Go ahead.
Okay, so I walked from my house, it was only like 10 blocks or something, and I immediately like was walking up the sidewalk and saw you. You had dreads at the time, and I know exactly what you're wearing. I have a horrible memory, so I'm shocked that I remember this. Like, that means that it was significant to me. As I walked up, and he was wearing, like, dark jeans and his blue Columbia raincoat, and he had his dreads down and everything. Something about how he just looked so adorable. Like, you could tell he was a bit nervous, but you could tell it was because he cared and not because, I don't know. You didn't make it weird.
So nervous, you guys. I had maybe had, like, in the 3 years of knowing you, including the year you were in college, I maybe had like 15 to 20 conversations with her. Maybe more than that.
Yeah.
I was so nervous.
I feel like because I knew that you were nervous because of all the messaging, it made me feel more confident. Like, it made me feel like, oh, he's nervous, so like I don't have to be nervous. I don't know why.
Yeah. So then we went on that breakfast.
I saw he was adorable. We went in, and something about it, I just felt so comfortable. Like, I had been on dates in the like couple of years before, and every time I was like literally so nervous that I like didn't want to eat because I was so like my stomach was so in knots. But with you there, I ate like my whole plate.
This is the goal, fellas. Like, make her feel comfortable. Like, if you want any tips, I honestly don't know how, because every single human being is different.
Yeah.
but just
do what you can to try to make the other person feel comfortable.
Yeah,
because it worked. Because I felt so comfortable. We talked so easily. We were talking. I ate more than you did.
She did.
I ate my whole thing. I also had the audacity to order the thing that takes like 30 minutes, and it says on the menu like just so you know, this is going to take 30 minutes. And I was like,
oh, the
I'm getting
black bean scramble.
Oh, I thought I got the pancake.
You had me get the pancake.
Oh. I was like, I want the black beans.
She had been
but
here. She was like,
to
Nate, she was like, you have to get this. She goes, have you ever had a German pancake? I'm like, no. She goes, you have to get it. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is like, she's giving me the recommendations. I'm down. Like, okay.
In your neighborhood and everything. I mean, I lived there too, but you grew up in that neighborhood.
I grew up in this neighborhood and I'd never been there. But
But so we went we had this breakfast, we talked the whole time, and then afterwards
we went and got coffee. Yeah,
because you were getting your haircut after. This weirdo got his haircut after the date. Makes no sense.
The haircut was scheduled before the date. Mm-hmm. I probably could have texted my barber and said, hey, could you get me in a day earlier? But
I made you seem like you were a busy guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I did it. You know, I had something to do, you know? Gotta seem like I'm doing things, because I was taking a gap year, you guys. I wasn't doing anything.
So he had a haircut afterwards, so we were hanging out in the areas before his haircut, because we were, like, our conversation was still going. Mm-hmm. So then we ended up getting coffee afterwards, and so our date, it ended up being
an extended date.
An extended date. We had a date after our date.
We did.
I thought that was a pretty good sign.
I don't know why I got, like, a latte. I never had a latte before.
I feel like when you're on a date and you order something, you're like, oh, I don't know. Anything.
I don't drink coffee. Caffeine doesn't do anything to me, you guys, so I literally just don't drink coffee. So we went into a coffee shop, and I was just like, I should have just got tea.
I've ordered a shot of espresso on a date before, because I was like, you get nervous, and you're like, no. What do grown-ups drink? What do people drink?
All right, so then after that first date, we messaged for a little bit, and then went on a second date. Mm-hmm.
And then I left for New York for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Was it? No, it was a week.
It was a week, yeah. But I didn't think we were gonna really, because we didn't really message that much at all. It was still just over Snapchat, so I didn't think she was gonna really message me at all. But we talked every single day when she was gone, and I was out of this world. I was on cloud 9.
And then when I came back, we saw each other like every day for like the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it was.
We've seen each other pretty much every day since, I think.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like, I started staying the night at her place. Mm-hmm. Because she had her own place and I was still living with my parents. Yeah.
But I had the tiniest room in the house. I should just say it was just a tiny room. Mm-hmm. And so I let you keep a duffel bag under my bed.
I don't remember whether I asked or I just brought that over. I think I asked. Or like you said you can like have some clothes.
You can leave that there.
Yeah. And then she would always be like, I'll do your laundry when I'll do my laundry. But I was like, no. I would just take my stuff back, do my laundry, and go back. But basically, we were seeing each other every single day. I was going over to her house, like, every single night. But I still had to go back to my parents' house and do the dishes after work. So I'd get off of work at, like, 11-something, go home, or, like, 10-something, go home, do the dishes, and then skateboard back to her house.
There were a couple nights there where I would start to second-guess myself in that I'm like, maybe I do want to spend a night alone, because I thought, like, in my head, I'm like, that's what a grown lady should take her time. And so I would be like, don't come over tonight, like, I'm a night to myself, and then it would be, like, 10 o'clock, and I'd text him, I'd be like, hey, come over. It wasn't a booty call, it was literally, like, I just wanted you there.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who's pretty, comfortable being alone. So that was significant to me. I liked being with him more than I liked being alone.
Right, that's crazy.
A big deal.
Like, this happened, this wasn't just like a few times, this was like weeks.
Yeah.
And so finally I ended up just like, because I'd be at work, so I just started bringing clothes with me to work. Because I would go over to her place and have no clothes. And so I just always had clothes with me.
Yeah.
So now it's been like 5 months, right? And it's like September. Getting around September time, it might be like 4 months before, when we actually booked it, but basically she was just like, hey, so I'm starting this thing where I want to go travel every single September, and she basically was like, in a way nicer way, but was like, you can either come with me or not.
Like, I'm going.
And I had some money saved up because I was living at my parents' house. All I had to pay for was my phone, and I was getting paid quite a bit, so I had some money saved up. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with you, sure thing. Where do we want to go? And I'm thinking, like, we're going to go to, like, Florida or California or something.
You didn't know me well enough yet to know that I'm like, I only go big.
She was like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it and let's do some planning. And she pulls up her computer, and every single place that she had pulled up was, like, out of the country. mind you, at this point, I didn't even have a passport yet.
And I was like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get it sorted.
Yeah, she was like, I was like, I don't have a passport. And she's like, it's fine. We'll get you a passport. And so we ended up going with Spain.
Yeah. And that's when our relationship with travel started.
Mm-hmm.
Travel buddy for life.
We went to Spain for 2 weeks with only dating for 5 months.
Yeah.
So basically after
People
5
thought
months,
we were crazy.
We knew we could live together
Yeah.
because we were in an Airbnb. It was a studio too.
If you want your family and friends to know that you're in a serious relationship like this quickly, just go on a international relationship or international
Little trip. Yeah.
with them
2 weeks.
and survive it.
2 weeks. We went to 2 different cities and it was beautiful and amazing time. And literally, like, for me after that, I was just like, oh yeah. I was like, I think this is like, this can be like something. But,
And then not long after we went plant-based.
right? Actually, I think it was like, what, a year or two? Because we've been being for like 2.5 years, something like that now. I don't know. Less than a month, maybe a month of us dating. I slipped of the tongue. We were walking together and I was like, oh, we're one of those couples that I used to hate seeing because it made me feel lonely. And then immediately was like, oh shoot, I just called us a couple.
I was like,
she totally went with it, you guys. She totally went with it. Yeah, she
so
just
funny.
let it slide.
I thought it was the cutest thing ever. Because I could tell you were like,
In my head, I was like, what did I just say? Oh my, I'm about to scare her off. But I didn't scare her off.
that's all.
That's all for today.
And now it's today.
Over 4.5 years later, here we are.
We've lived in a van together.
For 3 months.
So that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met and that's how we started dating and
Hope that was entertaining.
yeah.
If not just informational.
Maybe for a future Q&A, if you guys have any questions about our relationship, go ahead and shoot us some questions. You can either leave them in comments or you can, if you follow our Instagram, Sarah&Nate always, you can DM us or leave comments under our pictures there. Alright, if you have not yet, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.